Critical thinking is actually about doing the right things and not doing what feels right. And there's a huge difference between what is right and what feels right. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to talk about critical thinking and that one sure short way you can improve your critical thinking. So make sure you watch this video till the end. And if you're new here, please subscribe to my channel. I post videos every week that focuses on the scientific aspects of motivation and scientific aspects of life lessons. So I'm sure you're going to enjoy this. So please subscribe and press the bell icon. Now, before we talk about that one sure short way of improving your critical thinking, let me tell you why it is so much important. Because at every point of your life, at every juncture of your life, you're bound to make decisions. Now, some decisions could be small, and some of those decisions are very large. The example of some small decisions would be about picking what do you want to have for lunch. It could be a pizza or it could be a healthy alternative. So that's a very small decision that you have to take every day of your life. But some decisions are actually quite big, like choosing your careers or choosing your partner for yourself. So these are some of the important decisions that we need to take for ourselves, and they actually tend to shape the reality of our life, and that they actually tend to shape how our life turns out to be. So some of the decisions are really very important. And if you're a good critical thinker, you would always take the most amazing decisions with your life, and chances are you not regret it as much as you might do in general cases. So this video is all about understanding why critical thinking is important and that one sure short way of deciding and working on your critical thinking skills. So critical thinking allows you to carefully deconstruct a situation, reveal its hidden issues like bias and manipulation, and then make the best possible decision out of it. So this was a very heavy definition of what critical thinking actually is. But in very simple words, critical thinking is actually about doing the right things and not doing what feels right. And there's a huge difference between what is right and what feels right. Because at certain instances of our life, we actually tend to do things that feels right at that particular point of time, and then we end up regretting that at some particular point of time. So it's very important to distinguish between what is right and what feels right. So critical thinking allows you to actually get deeper into that thing, to understand what is happening at that particular point, and then take the best possible decision. Now, coming back to that one skill that you can use to improve your critical thinking skills is writing. And this is something that I have seen personally in my life as well, and I've seen in a lot of people I have counseled and coached as well. Because when you start writing, you actually tend to think much more logically, you tend to think much more critically, and then your decisions turn out to be really good. And I'm going to talk a lot about my personal instances, my personal experiences as well in this particular video, so make sure you watch this video till the end. And I'm also going to share some important benefits, some important points about writing and how you can make the best out of it. The three important parts of any critical thinking is analysis, inference, and evaluation. So the moment you start writing things down, you tend to understand things in a much better way, and then you also get a third person's perspective of things. Because what is always happening in your mind is your thoughts, and those thoughts can often turn out to be biased, that can often turn out to be manipulative for you. And hence, if you're always counting on your thoughts, if you're always counting on ideas to take any good decisions in your life, turns out it could be a very manipulative and a biased decision for you, and hence it might not be the right one. And hence it's very important to actually see it from a third person perspective to make the right decision. And it has happened with all of us, I believe. And I'm sure you might know some people in your friend circle, or you might be the kind of person who is very good at giving advices. But when it comes to actually implementing that advice in your own personal life, you fail. And this happens because we are always counting on our thoughts. And if that thing is very much emotionally attached to us, we tend to be biased towards that thing. And hence we always need a third person's advice. We always need a third person's perspective to actually look at things in a much clearer, in a much rational way. And this is what writing can do for you. And I'll show it to you with a very simple demonstration. Imagine someone you don't really like. And I'm sure at this point, when you're imagining that person in your head, a sense of hatred is starting to creep in inside you. You started to feel that particular hatred for that particular person. Now listen to this question. Do you really hate that person? Or do you only hate certain qualities of them? And those certain qualities actually make up for the entire person in your head. Because the first time you actually saw them, you might have seen certain qualities in their personal life, in their professional life, that you didn't like. And then you started repeating those certain qualities in your head over and over again. You started talking about that quality in front of others, in front of yourself, and in front of your friends as well. That particular seed of hatred took the shape of a very huge tree, and now you're ending up hating the entire person. But the moment you start thinking logically about that thing, you don't really hate that person, you hate certain qualities of them. And this is a very clear example of how that simple bias can actually turn out to be a bad decision maker for us. Because at this particular point, we're seeing that person as their qualities and not who they really are. And hence, if we want to do something with them, if we want to maintain some friendship with them, or we want to do something out of them, in that case, we would always see them as a bad person. When they clearly aren't that really bad, but they have certain bad qualities which we are showing as the real person. So this is something that our biases are telling us, and this is not always the true picture. This is not always the true picture. So when you start writing things down, you tend to be aware of the entire picture and not just certain qualities of a particular person or a particular thing. So when you start writing things down, you tend to have a third person's perspective of that particular thing, and hence that bias would automatically go away. Because when you're always listening to someone about a particular story, you don't have any particular emotional attachment to it. You always listen to it as a story. And the same happens when you start writing things down. You tend to get a third person's perspective of things, and hence you would always have a logical approach of looking at observing that particular situation. And hence whatever decision you're going to take in that particular moment would turn out to be the right decision for you. And hence that is a very, very important criteria of being a critical thinker. And when I talk about using writing as a way to enhance your critical thinking skills, I don't actually mean writing whenever you need to or writing whenever you want to. It's more about developing the habit of writing every day in your life. Because the more you write, the better would be your chances of seeing things in a much, much natural way. And that writing could be anything. It could be writing a simple tweet, writing a simple post, or writing a particular article in a particular page, or just maintaining your diary. It could be anything. But the moment you start writing things down, you tend to observe and see a lot of things that you hadn't seen before. So that's what writing does to you. It gives you a different way of looking at things. And the more you write, the better would be your thoughts organizing capacity. Because at the end of the day, it's our thoughts that need to be organized. And the moment we start organizing our thoughts in a very distinguished manner, we'll be able to differentiate between what is right for us and what is wrong for us. Because what really happens in our brain, there are a lot of thoughts inside us. There are a lot of incoming thoughts, outgoing thoughts, and they tend to get up mixed. They tend to get up in a wired manner. They tend to be chaotic at certain points. But the moment you start writing things down, you're basically unwinding that particular chaos. You start to make sense of every particular thought that's coming in your head. And hence, writing is a way that you can actually establish that way of seeing things very critically, seeing things very closely, and then working on it in a very, very efficient way. So this is what writing can do to you. And sadly, this is something that is not really talked about in our education system. Because when you talk about writing in our education system, it's only a way to get marks. It's only a way that you are assigned to write an essay or something, or you're assigned to write an article or something, and that's all about it. So in our current education system, it is not seen as something that could develop your critical thinking skills. And I believe that is one of the most important reasons why most of the people, most of the students of our country or any country in this world lack this ability of critical thinking. They don't have the habit of asking why. They don't have the habit of looking deeply into things, because they don't have the habit of writing. They don't have the habit of observing things. And hence it becomes so much important for you to establish this quality in yourself, to just find 5-10 minutes or half an hour of your daily routine to write about whatever went in your day, to write about whatever feelings you are feeling at that particular point. Now, coming back to the point where writing transformed my life is actually very interesting, because I never had the habit of writing. I think I didn't really write till the age of 21 or 22. And then after that, when I started observing a lot of things, I started asking a lot of questions to myself about why things are happening this way, why things are happening that way. I started writing things down because I wanted to make sense of whatever I'm thinking. And hence writing gave me that platform to be able to organize my thoughts. So that was the first step towards my writing. Then I started writing blogs, then I started writing articles on different pages. And after 3 or 4 years of writing blogs and articles, I finally published my first book. That was How to Unleash Your Potential. And I think at that particular point, I started writing in a very continuous note. And if you're following me on my Instagram or on my Twitter, you know that I do post a lot about things that are very deep and intrinsic. And that's often because of the things I see in my daily life. And writing gives me a platform to be able to understand things in a very, very critical manner. So this is how writing actually changed my life, and I use that particular thinking of writing, that particular habit of writing every day in my life. And if I don't get to write, a lot of thoughts actually accumulate in my head, and that tend to disturb me at certain times. And hence writing gives me a platform to be able to understand what is happening in my head, what I am feeling at that particular point, and what I need to do with my thoughts as well. So this is why, and this is how writing has played a very, very important role in how I have understood myself. And I believe you can do that with yourself as well. Writing can actually help you become a very, very good critical thinker, and it can help you make the best decisions in your life. So make sure you start writing at this particular point. Make a habit of writing things maybe half an hour a day, maybe 20 minutes a day. Maybe start slow, 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, and then start improving on that. Start opening up to your piece of paper, onto a piece of paper, and then start writing your thoughts down. And I'm sure that would help you understand yourself in a much, much better way. Because I have always said this, and I'll say this again, that you really need to understand yourself to be able to love yourself. Because when there's no understanding, there's always hatred that comes along with it. And the moment you start understanding yourself, there will always be love, there will always be appreciation, and there will always be some level of happiness for yourself.